At IWMI, we explore very much the link between food and water. And what I'd like to do is convince you first that that's an important link. So if we think about how much water we drink, maybe 2 to 5 liters if we get a lot of exercise, 5. Our daily household, 20 to 500 if we take long showers. But if we think about how much water it takes to produce 1 kilogram of grain, it's on the order of 500 to 2,000 liters, depending on the farming practices. And then when we add all that together and look at our daily diets, how much water we eat every day, it comes out to an astonishing figure of about 2,000 liters to 5,000 liters. 2,000 if you're vegetarian, 5,000 if you love your steaks. So we have, that's about 5 tons of water. So we definitely, I mean, thinking about it, we have 2 billion people changing diets. All the drivers column have put up, we've got water scarcity in the world. What are we going to do? And what IWMI looks at is asks 4 big kind of questions. How much water is there? And here we're looking at different kind of river basins throughout the world. In Sri Lanka, we've looked at the Wallowa River, the Dedra Oya. In India, the Krishna River Basin. In Africa, the Nile, the Ganges River, asking this question now more and more under a situation of climate change. The second question we ask is how to use it productively. Given we have that water, how can we use it productively in our agricultural systems? We have started one project funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which looks at a range of smallholder agricultural practices that are particularly relevant for poverty alleviation, but also for producing a lot more food. How do we do that in a sustainable way for a healthy environment? And I think you heard Priyanka in the story about wastewater use. We also do a lot with agriculture and wetlands, because agriculture is a main driver of ecosystem change. We have to pay absolute attention to that. And then finally, we ask, what kind of institutions support us? What is the people part? And almost all our projects have a component that looks at incentives, they look at institutions, and they look at policies. We have an interdisciplinary team at IWMI that does this research. IWMI has a unique position where, as a center that works globally, our role is to produce international public goods, right? Looking across, finding solutions. So we do research. What makes it exciting, I think, for all of us is that really we want to take that research and apply it to get impact. So yes, we do research, and we have to do everything with a lot of partners to get some outcomes, right? We do analysis, we build capacity, hands-on working with other people, we get new knowledge and new information. And what do we do with that? We use that to try and influence policies. We try to influence practices and, importantly, investments that are going into the water sector. We'd like to get that outscaled and adopted by many, many people. And finally, then we can reach our mission statement to improve land and water management. But that's not the ultimate goal. Really, it's what we want to do is reduce poverty, do it sustainably, have better health, and a better environment. So what, if we're thinking about those global lessons, what are relevant for Sri Lanka? And I'll just wave a book. We asked about 700 researchers and practitioners, what are big issues that we have to face globally? I think you have this in your satchel. What I've done is picked out a few of them for Sri Lanka. And the first one is just is simple. It's really to improve access to water, especially for women, using a range of agricultural water management techniques. Now, in the past, we had thought lots and lots about irrigation as the way to get water to people. But now we recognize, as people have for centuries, that there's a whole range of techniques from water harvesting to supplemental irrigation to groundwater use that can provide this access. Then get water to people. Secondly, use it better. We call that increasing water productivity in agriculture, because it can produce more food with the same amount of water and help generate income for people. What we found importantly is that if we can do a lot with that same drop of water, we call that a multiple use system, to use the same water for crops, for fish, for drinking, for livestock, that we can generate a lot more value from this. Irrigation will certainly have a huge, incredible role to play. And we've seen in Sri Lanka coming up, it will be still remain incredibly important. We have to do that in a different way than we've done it in the past, to share the benefits equitably and make sure it is sustainable. And then we've seen how to make an asset out of wastewater. As cities grow, there'll be more and more wastewater generated. And finally, recognizing that these problems of poverty, of hunger, gender inequality, ecosystem degradation are not really because of our technologies, it's because of the institutions and the politics. And quite honestly, nobody's got this right? It's not a Sri Lanka, it's a global thing. We really need to manage water better globally. And to do that, what we do know is we have to craft with partners local solutions that work here in Sri Lanka. So just in summary then, what we think for Sri Lanka is provide access for agriculture to the poor is key, improve the productivity of irrigation water, look at those multiple use systems, promote ecosystem services for sustainability, make an asset out of wastewater, and craft these local solutions. So thank you very much.